Have you ever wondered why strong, independent Sigma empaths often attract the most toxic people? It doesn't make sense, right? You'd think their confidence and emotional awareness would repel manipulators, and yet, narcissists seem magnetically drawn to them. Why is that? The truth is, Sigma empaths possess a rare blend of strength and sensitivity, traits that both fascinate and frustrate narcissists. Their calm energy, quiet confidence, and deep emotional insight become an irresistible challenge for those who seek control. What is a Sigma empath? So what exactly is a Sigma empath? A Sigma empath is someone who is deeply empathetic, yet completely self-sufficient. They're emotionally intelligent, intuitive, and fiercely independent. They don't need the crowd's approval, and they're not afraid to walk alone. This combination of emotional depth and unshakable boundaries is what makes them both powerful and, ironically, a prime target for narcissists. In this video, we're diving into 10 powerful reasons why Sigma empaths attract narcissists, and more importantly, how you can spot the red flags before it's too late. Because once you understand the pattern, you can break free from it. Make sure you stick around until the end, where we'll share key insights to help you protect your energy, maintain your power, and avoid falling into the narcissist's trap ever again. Reason 1. Strength that feels like a threat. Picture this. A narcissist walks into a room, scanning faces, looking for someone who seems easy to win over. They feed on control. Most of the time, they choose people who crave attention, people who want to be noticed. But then, their eyes land on someone different, a Sigma empath. Calm, grounded, someone who doesn't seem to need anyone's approval. That quiet strength is magnetic, but it's also intimidating. Narcissists aren't used to that kind of energy. They think to themselves, if I can control someone like that, it will prove how powerful I am. It's not admiration, it's a challenge. At first, they try charm. They'll pretend to respect the Sigma's independence, acting as if they value that strength. But behind the act, their goal is simple. Break it. They want to find the cracks, the soft spots where they can push their way in. The more independent you are, the more determined they become. For a Sigma empath, this can feel confusing at first. You see the charm, the effort, and it might even seem flattering. But what's really happening is a game you didn't ask to play. Their goal isn't connection. Their goal is control. This is why your strength, the very thing that makes you who you are, becomes a threat in their eyes. It challenges everything they believe about power. Reason 2. Lack of interest in pleasing others. Imagine this moment. A narcissist makes a sly, backhanded comment, expecting a reaction. Most people would laugh nervously, maybe try to smooth things over, hoping to win their approval. But a Sigma empath? They just pause for a second, give a calm look, and move on as if nothing happened. This indifference drives a narcissist crazy. They are used to people bending over backward to keep them happy. They expect everyone to react, to care about what they think, to try harder just to stay on their good side. But Sigma empaths don't play that game. They don't need to win anyone over. At first, the narcissist sees it as a challenge. How can I make them care about me? How can I make them need my approval? They try harder with compliments, guilt trips, or fake kindness. But the Sigma empath stays calm and steady, never giving them the reaction they're looking for. This lack of interest becomes frustrating for the narcissist because it removes their favorite tool, control. When you don't need their approval, they can't hook you in with it. And that's when their charm starts to slip and their true motives begin to show. Reason 3. Resistance to drama makes narcissists push harder. Picture this. A narcissist drops a loaded comment into a conversation. It's designed to spark chaos, maybe to make people argue, to create tension, or to make someone feel guilty. Usually, this works like magic. People react, defend themselves, and the narcissist gets exactly what they wanted: control of the room. But when they try this with a Sigma empath, nothing happens. No argument, no emotional outburst. Just a calm, steady silence. It's like throwing a stone into a still lake and watching it sink with no ripple. This lack of reaction leaves the narcissist unsettled. They can't stand that they don't have the power to upset you. They think, if I can't get under their skin, how can I control them? So instead of stopping, they push harder. They try guilt. They try gaslighting. They try playing the victim. The more a Sigma empath stays out of the drama, the more obsessive the narcissist becomes. They don't understand that not reacting isn't weakness, it's strength. A Sigma empath sees the game for what it is and simply chooses not to play. Reason 4. Their empathy becomes a weapon against them. Imagine this. A Sigma empath notices someone who seems hurt, someone who feels misunderstood. Out of genuine care, they listen. They ask questions. They want to understand where that pain comes from. For them, empathy isn't just a word. It's a way of life. A narcissist knows exactly how to use this. At first, they show up with sad stories. They talk about people who betrayed them, how no one sees the real them, how life has been so unfair. To most, these stories would sound like red flags, but to a Sigma empath, it sounds like someone in need of compassion. This is how the narcissist gets in. They create a bond built on sympathy, expecting that the Sigma empath will always understand and forgive. But what they don't realize is that empathy doesn't mean blind loyalty. Over time, the Sigma starts to see the pattern. The same excuses, the same manipulation, the same cycle. That's when things change. The Sigma empath sets clear boundaries. They stop fixing, they stop excusing, and they refuse to be pulled into endless drama disguised as pain. And the moment they do, the narcissist loses their power. What was once their easiest way in, the Sigma's big heart, turns into the very thing that pushes them away. Reason 5. They represent what narcissists lack. Picture a crowded room where most people are trying to fit in. Some laugh at jokes they don't find funny. Others change their opinions just to be liked. And then there's the Sigma empath. Calm, comfortable in their own skin. They don't need attention to feel valuable, and they don't try to be someone they're not. To a narcissist, this is both fascinating and unbearable. They spend their lives chasing approval, needing others to tell them who they are. Deep down, they know that everything they show to the world is built on performance. When they see a Sigma empath living with real confidence, it's like holding up a mirror to everything they pretend to be. At first, they're drawn to it. They think, if I can get close to them, maybe I can feel that way too. But as time goes on, admiration turns into jealousy. The very qualities they are drawn to, the self-sufficiency, the authenticity, the peace, remind them of what they lack. And that frustration makes them even more desperate to pull the Sigma empath into their game. But here's the truth. You can't take away something that comes from within. No matter how hard a narcissist tries to control or copy it, the Sigma's strength is real. That's why they attract so much attention, and also why they're such a threat to anyone who lives on pretense. Reason 6. Their quiet nature is mistaken for submission. Think about a Sigma empath walking into a room. They don't rush to speak. They don't fight for attention. Instead, they watch, they listen, they take their time. This calm, quiet way of being often makes people wonder what they're thinking. But to a narcissist, it sends the wrong message. Narcissists assume silence means weakness. They see someone who isn't loud and think, perfect. Easy to control. At first, they believe the Sigma empath will bend to their charm just like everyone else. But what they don't understand is that quiet does not mean passive. Sigma empaths choose their battles. They won't waste energy on small things. But when someone crosses a line, everything changes. That same calm person suddenly draws a clear boundary, and it throws the narcissist off balance. The very person they thought would be easy to control becomes the one who refuses to play their game. This is the moment where a narcissist realizes they've underestimated them. That shock only fuels their need to try harder. But by then, the Sigma has already shown that silence was never weakness. It was strength. Reason 7. They are unintentionally intimidating. Picture a room full of people talking, laughing, and trying to impress one another. Then there's the Sigma empath, standing quietly, not trying to be noticed, yet somehow everyone feels their presence. They carry a calm, steady energy that draws people in without a single word. This mysterious aura fascinates narcissists. They're used to being the center of attention, so when someone doesn't seem interested, it bothers them. Instead of walking away, it becomes a challenge. Why doesn't this person react to me like everyone else? The narcissist begins to see the Sigma as a puzzle to solve. They think, if I can break through that wall, I'll win. But what they see as a wall is actually self-respect. The Sigma empath's emotional strength makes them feel safe within themselves. That's something a narcissist has never been able to build on their own. The more the narcissist tries to break down that calm exterior, the more they realize it's not an act. It's who the Sigma truly is. And this drives them to try harder, not out of love, but out of obsession with conquering something they don't understand. Reason 8. Self-sufficiency confuses narcissists. Think of how a narcissist operates. They like to feel needed. They look for people who depend on them for advice, support, or approval, because that dependence gives them power. Now imagine what happens when they meet a Sigma empath who doesn't need any of that. A Sigma empath is used to standing on their own 2 feet. They don't need someone else to tell them who they are, and they don't rely on constant reassurance to feel whole. This is where the clash begins. To the narcissist, that kind of independence feels like rejection. They think, if I can't make them depend on me, how do I control them? So the narcissist begins to search for cracks. They might question their choices, make small, critical comments, or try to create situations where they can step in as the rescuer. They believe that if they can shake the Sigma's confidence just a little, they'll find a way in. But Sigma empaths are quick to notice what's happening. The moment they see someone trying to pull their strings, they take a step back. That's when the narcissist realizes that their usual methods won't work here. Instead of gaining power, they lose it. And the more the Sigma empath stays grounded, the more frustrated the narcissist becomes. Reason 9. Narcissists mistake emotional intelligence for vulnerability. When a Sigma empath walks into a room, they don't just see faces, they read the room. They can sense moods, notice small changes in tone, and understand feelings that others might ignore. This emotional awareness is one of their greatest strengths, but to a narcissist, it looks like an easy doorway. Here's why. Narcissists assume that because a Sigma empath understands emotions so deeply, they must be soft and easy to influence. They think, if they care so much, I can use that to control them. So they start with flattery, sad stories, or fake vulnerability to try and pull the Sigma in. At first, it may seem like it's working. The Sigma empath listens, they ask questions, and they show concern. But what the narcissist doesn't realize is that while the Sigma empath is listening, they're also observing. They notice patterns, they see the inconsistencies, and they can feel when something is off. Sooner or later, the Sigma empath puts the pieces together. They recognize that the emotion is a tactic, not a truth. And once they see the game, they step out of it. What the narcissist thought was a weakness turns out to be the very shield that keeps them from taking control. Reason 10. Their boundaries are seen as a challenge. One of the clearest signs of a Sigma empath is their ability to set calm, firm boundaries. They don't yell, they don't argue. They simply state where the line is, and they hold it. To a narcissist, this is infuriating. They are used to people giving in after enough pressure. Imagine a narcissist trying to push their way into a Sigma's personal space. At first, they test with small requests. When that doesn't work, they try guilt. When that fails, they turn to anger. But no matter how many tactics they try, the Sigma empath doesn't budge. Their no stays a no. This quiet strength is confusing to a narcissist. They are used to control being loud and dramatic. But here, the power is silent. And that silence is what breaks the narcissist's grip. It's like holding up a mirror to them, showing that all the noise and tricks don't work anymore. The more the narcissist pushes, the more they realize that the Sigma empath isn't someone who can be broken down. Instead of gaining power, they lose it, and the control they crave slips through their fingers. At the end of the day, Sigma empaths hold a power that narcissists can never take. You have something they crave: authenticity, strength, and a calm sense of self that doesn't depend on anyone else. And that's exactly why they try so hard to break it. But here's the truth. Your strength isn't loud, and it doesn't need to be. Every time you trust your instincts, say no without guilt, and protect your energy, you remind the world that your value isn't up for negotiation. You don't owe anyone your attention, especially not a narcissist. If this video spoke to you, give it a like, share it with someone who might need to hear it today, and don't forget to subscribe for more self-empowerment content just like this. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Have you noticed these patterns in your own life? Share your story in the comments below. Stay strong, stay independent, and keep shining your quiet power.